Alright you beautiful people, Konzi here, bringing you episode 33 of Kenshi, Age of Blood and Sand Iron Man playthrough. Straight off the start, we are getting attacked by about 250 starving bandits, which, as always, like I like to say, it is good practice for us. Unfortunately, the walls aren't fully made, so they are coming through the front gate, and looks like they're coming through like the north of our base. Which is okay. It does mean they are spread out quite far, so they can bring their numbers against us quite a lot. But this is going to be good training for our hives. Some of our guys will be able to take on 5 starving bandits at a time, which would obviously be ideal. That's going to be some seriously good practice. Whereas a fair few of them, like our smiths, aren't going to be able to take 5 people at a time. But the more kickings we take, the more time we get beaten up, the better the hives will become across the board. So you know, it is all good training. Soon we're just going to be able to carve through hordes like this and it won't be an issue. Not a massive issue right now, but it is going to take a little bit of time to get going. Tychus looks like he's doing pretty well, but then that's fair enough. Tychus was my first hive, so he should be, well, first hive soldier drone, so he should be getting there. And then we got Nippy out in between the two bases. I'm not even going to bother trying to call Nippy back in. We saw from last episode, Nippy does what Nippy wants. And he's very good at killing things. So I'm just going to leave him be. He's having a nice time. He's wagging his tail. So he does what he wants. We do have Darwin here. He's one of my new hives. So I'm not expecting miracles from him. But he should be doing alright. Or not. Well, it is survival of the fittest. And this hive is definitely based around that. If you don't survive and you die, well, no one's going to mourn your passing. We've lost so many hives now. And then after Loren died, you know, it doesn't really matter. You're not my favourite hive, so if you die, you will be forgotten and we will just replace you. So last episode, I think we got 5 new hives. So we got Rex, Tuscan, Raider and Darwin all come in to join, which is pretty smart. Those guys are going to be not great to start with, but they're definitely going to get better. Cantino is just getting so good right now, even though he really should be. Masterwork samurai plate, which we took from the corpse of the Dust King, and he has a made to hunting saber, which is just an absolutely insane weapon. Doesn't do a crazy amount of damage, but it does a fair amount of damage. And look at his stats, he is starting to get pretty decent now, so I'm really happy with Cantino and how he's coming. But the hunting saber attacks super quick. Looks like Nippy's cleaned up most of the starving bandits outside, so he's now just going to come in and just clear out everything around in this base. Like, that animal is so dangerous. Like last episode, he went off by himself to attack a holy mine. I called him back because I didn't think he'd be able to do it by himself and I didn't want him dying. Don't pay him attention for maybe an hour in game time, maybe 2 hours in game time, and then yeah, he just went off to that holy mine and just killed everyone in there. So all of the guys that had fled from the battle after we got attacked by the Holy Nation, yeah, Nippy just hunted each and every one of them down and killed all of them. But then he's a good dog, you know. I do like Nippy. He definitely is one of my favourites. What we're going to do, just because I want to send a message, we're going to kill all of the hungry bandits that are crawling around on the floor. You know, you come to our base, you're going to die. As simple as that. I don't want hungry bandits coming around these parts. This is our land and this is for us. So we're just checking in on the Holy Nation assault, which isn't too far away. And we do have Onis in the base. So I'm going to need to keep a constant eye on the map in case one of the Onis has decided to pick someone up and run them off into Verge. Because that would be super annoying. I don't want any of my guys ever getting taken to Verge and ever being killed by the Onis. Because all they do is they take them, they put them into essentially what is a peeler machine and then torture them until they die. And in my mind, that's not quite cricket, and that's not happening to my hives. They get killed by a grief wraith matriarch, they fall in the fight. That is all fair game because it's a battle. Being taken off and tortured till you die, well, Lidus has a bit of a conscience, and that is not what he wants happening to his hive. It sends a bad example, you know. And I think there's a couple ways that we can help mitigate this. Or sort this. Mitigate seems like a bit of a pretentious word for the sake of it. We're running now low on building materials, so what we're going to do is we're just going to upgrade the stone processor. Oh, processor. Wow, wording today, Konzi. We're going to upgrade that so then we can get building material a lot quicker. The quicker we can get the building material, the quicker we can get the walls up. So once those walls are up, it's going to be easier to defend. It's going to create a choke point and those sort of things. So less chance of people being taken, and the attacks have to come through the area that we want. So it's going to be easier to defend. Other side is we are starting to get our robotics up. Started last episode, but obviously it takes a while to train. So we've got our robotics bench coming up. So we're building the parts needed to create the robotic limbs. And yeah, here's some more Onis. They are just loving coming into our base right now. I'm not sure if it's because we started to build the walls. Fly. Not sure if it's because we built the walls. So now the computer can register our base as a proper base with the walls, so it has like barriers and that. So we might end up getting more attacks coming in, which could be good fun. I do enjoy having these little fights. It's just really good training for our guys, because Onis are super powerful when it's a 1 versus 1. But if you've got 5 guys going against an Oni, you just feel those attack slots, and their dexterity is terrible, so you can just focus them down fairly quickly. What we're also doing is, where we have the robotics bench, we also have the prosthetic limb bench up as well. We're not producing anything of decent quality. I think the best we made was a standard grade limb, which obviously not the greatest of qualities, but it's better than some of the limbs that we've got, because we got a bit desperate and we had to buy economy hiver limbs and shoddy grade limbs just so my guys would have legs so they could be up. Because if you guys are missing an arm, they can still work, but if they're missing a leg, they can't work. So just having everyone up and running around at the moment is going to be more important. But then I don't want to be producing economy limbs, because they're kind of useless. Like they won't scale at all well. And we're still good. Nothing's down in Verge. So the Onis haven't kidnapped anyone, which is always good. We just need to keep an eye on that, because that is always super annoying. I think we've only lost 1 hive this playthrough to the Onis, and I think that was, yeah, it was Reese. I didn't see Reese get taken, and then by the time we found him, he was down in Verge, but we couldn't rescue him because he was bleeding out anyway. So even if I'd got to him, he was going to bleed out. What we're going to do is we're going to put down some guard mats out front of the base. The way these work is you put them down, and then they can be assigned as a job, and then you'll have your guards stand on them. We'll put some lights in just so we can actually see what's happening for when the attacks happen outside. And then we're also going to put down a couple large torch posts. These are going to be quite useful, because with the large torch posts, they give like quite a nice look, and also make our base look a little bit more intimidating. And just the other sides of being able to see, you know, that's really good. And yet, this is the same group of Oni from earlier. They just decided that they don't want to go down. We have been stealing the health kits and medikits off them. The regen on Onis is insane, so you can like knock them down and get back up. But then that's the same with most robots. And here we go, couple guards on the way. Last of the wall on this section of the base is up, and we're just going to start to gear up our guys a little bit, seeing as we're getting some better weapons and some better armor coming up. We're going to need another station house. The station house is going to be used for hemp, as the storm house is bugging out a little bit. Oh no, no. They got cops. The Onis have got cops, and they've managed to get him down into Verge as well, which is going to make getting him back nigh on impossible. I mean, I thought something like this might happen. That's why I've been checking the mini-map so like often, but obviously I just turn my attention away for a couple minutes, and yeah, they got one. Okay, this is super annoying. Lidus' mentality is no hive gets captured, no hive gets taken by the Oni, and no hive gets tortured to death, which is fair enough. And normally that wouldn't be a massive issue, but we have the Holy Nation assault about 7 hours away, which means that if I send Lidus, Ray and Nippy to go and get him, the Holy Nation assault's going to show up and just kill pretty much everyone in our colony. However, if I leave Cops alone, Cops is then going to be tortured to death and die, which obviously is another thing that I don't want to happen. But I don't want to lose my colony, but I don't want to leave a hive behind at the same time. Considering the other Holy Nation assault that came in, we didn't have Lidus and we lost 4 drones in that attack, 4 hives. This time, then when we had Lidus, Ray and Nippy together, we didn't lose anyone and the fight went pretty well. But if we go off to get cops back, we won't have Lidus, we won't have Nippy and we won't have Ray defending them, because I'll need the 3 of them to even have the smallest of chance of getting the cops in time. I mean, even if we get to cops, there's no guarantee we'll get there in time, and then there's no guarantee that we can rescue him either, so it might just be all for now and we would have lost a colony. I'm going to put this down to a vote. I'm going to leave this to you guys. Do we go and put the whole colony at risk and run down into Verge and try to capture, well, rescue cops at the loss of maybe 10 to 20 hives, and possibly not even get cops and have a chance of losing Lidus, Ray and Nippy, which is a very real possibility that we lose the 3 of them in Verge, because it's not only Onis that are in Verge, there are other nasties and there's the laser beams, and we'd have to get there in time. Or do we leave cops to his fate and let him get tortured to death and eventually die? Yeah, I'm not going to make this choice. This is up to you. Comment down in the comment section below what you'd like to see. We'll take a tally, and then from there we'll move forward. So thank you very much for watching episode 33 of Kenshi, Age of Blood and Sand. I've been Konzi. All the support you've been showing is amazing. All the comments, likes and subs, it is amazing. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.